Hi everyone. Well, hopefully you all like this slight change, but I'm going to try and give you a quick talk round a lap of Midland Sailing Club with me sailing my RS300. So I think this is the second lap of this race. I've already built a little lead, but I just want to try and give you an insight into what I'm thinking and sort of what I'm doing in the boat to try and go quickly. Obviously this is just my view of how to go fast. I'm sure you've all got your own opinions, but I hope this might be interesting to some of you. So just running the last mark, we're just about to go through the gate. Obviously this is a handicap race. Unfortunately I'm the only faster boat out here, so a bit of a lonely race, but we still need to go quickly to try and build a gap on the other boats. So at the moment you can see it's actually quite a nice lift on starboard and there's plenty of breeze. So I'm going to carry on keeping the boat flat, working the main, driving the boat hard. Slight backer there, or certainly a drop in breeze, so I'm going to be thinking about possible tack here, but you can't quite see, but I think there's a line of breeze ahead. It'll probably be best to get to it. If you ever see breeze on the water, it's normally best to get to that first before you do anything. So I've got to that breeze now, I think, and it looks like it's backed, or certainly it's either backed or I've got a bit too far to one side of the course, so I want to head back in. Again, plenty of breeze here, so just working the boat hard, keeping it flat. Dying a bit there, so a little bit of a backer, but we are on a long way to one side of the course, so probably going to have to take that on unless it's a big one. So breeze dying a little bit, looking around just to see where the next bit of breeze is. In the 300 it's always important to make sure that you know what's coming, because you're going to have to react quickly. If you don't react quickly, it can quite easily go wrong very quickly. So again, backing a little bit here, but we have to persevere. Bit of breeze coming in there, so again, back on the side, hiking hard, bit of kicker on. It's quite a lot of breeze. Very important to play the kicker a lot in the 300, I find. As the breeze dies, it lets them off, but you need a lot on when the breeze is upwind. So if you have let a lot off, you always need to put it back on again. So you can see the mark over my shoulder there, still in the breeze. May as well get to the ley line before we tack here. So not a bad beat there. We took a lift, then backed, took another lift, and now we're pretty much on the ley line. And more importantly, we have breeze as we come around the mark, which is always helpful, especially on an inland venue. You often get a light spot next to the mark, and if you can get a gust out, that will really help. So going off wind now, looks like quite runny, so main all the way out, kicker all the way off, out all off. The outhaul on the 300 holds the boom in, so if you let it too far out, the outhaul will hit the deck and not allow the boom to go out any further. You've got to let it off, otherwise you won't be able to go off wind very quickly. So there is a line of pressure coming out of that mark, but as you clear the headland, there's often a line of pressure coming out from the side, from the starboard side, coming out of the other sort of inlet in the pool. So I'll keep an eye on that and expecting to sheet in and get on a reach fairly soon. Doesn't always work, but it's often worth looking out for. Relatively light here, so just keeping an eye on things, seeing what might happen next. And again, quite far forward in the boat, keeping it flat, moving where required. Oh, there's the shift, so having to sheet in a little bit, kicker on. Sat on the side, now we're reaching, more kicker. Keeping it flat, playing the main. Very important in the 300 to be in the right place forward and aft as well. That looks like a nice end to that leg, so there's the bottom mark. So we come around and put some more kicker on it, I would have thought. There we go. And we'll just get to see what the wind's doing. It looks like a relatively large lift here, so we'll carry on, wait for the next shift. Bit of lightened off there, so drop the kicker off, but the angle's still good, so we're going to carry on. Backing here now by the look of things. and then back up onto the lift. So there's obviously some breeze coming in from the side, so we didn't want to take that backer. Always got to keep an eye out for where the breeze is coming. No point tacking into another shift. So this is looking like a good leg for us. This should be a beat, but we're heading straight to the mark. But there's the backer, so time to tack. Or certainly it looked like it was time to tack. It hasn't gone that well, but now the breeze comes in, so we've got that shift now, which is nice. And again, breeze on, but moving around forward and aft as well as in and out to keep the boat driving hard. And again, this looks like it's been a really good beat. We've had one shift and then tapped and had another good shift, and then the final shift into the mark is another massive lift if we tap. And we've held the breeze all the way, so that's been a really good leg for us. Again, this mark is well under the trees, so it can be a bit of a dead spot, but you can see that we've still got a bit of breeze here. So kick across as we round, bearing away onto the run, looking behind, see where the breeze is, and all the way forward as well. Keep the nose in, keep the flat aft sections out. Relatively comfortable with where we are here. We're going relatively low off the shore. Again, we're expecting to be running out of here, and then as we get the breeze coming out of the next inlet, we'll be expecting it to shift round to a reach. So the transition to that is all important, and managing that pressure change. But at the moment it's still quite runny, we're travelling along nicely. Just having to shift our weight quite a lot here as the breeze rocks us around. Wouldn't have to do this in a slightly less high performance boat, but in the 300 it's very tippy when you're all the way forward. Still travelling nicely here, but looking around, checking where the change in breeze is likely to come, and also looking behind, seeing what might be coming behind, if anything. Often on the run it's all about sitting as still as you can. Don't disturb the boat if it's all possible. Breeze coming in slightly from the side there, so we have to shift our weight slightly. Again, a bit of kicker on as it comes onto the side as well. Still moving nicely here. Then breeze on from the side, pulling out, so kicker on again, sat out, keeping the weight where it's needed to keep the boat flat and driving. Keeping the boat flat is all important. Even in this shifty breeze, you have to be really careful not to let the boat tip around too much and dip the wings in the water. It's a very slow way of sailing 300. Got it nicely travelling here. Good breeze most of the way down here, which is great. Still looking around, keeping an eye on what's going on breeze-wise. And we're expecting the breeze to lighten as we get under the trees. But obviously we do have to go under the trees, the mark is there, so we can't avoid that. Normally you would if you could. But if we're lucky we might hold this breeze all the way in. It looks quite runny, so maybe won't be as under the trees as possible. Yeah, so there's the mark. Need to get a good jibe in here. Nicely done, even though I say so myself. And now, nice reach across the bottom to the next lap. So again, working hard, you sort of move back slightly to get the bow out. When we're travelling this quick, you need to be on the flatter sections of the boat, planing. And again, working hard to keep the boat flat, moving in and forward as the breeze dies. out again as the breeze comes in. Bit of kicker on. I'm working hard to keep it flat again. And this is the final mark of the lap, so we're now coming round, and clearly a big shift there, so we've tacked straight away and not far off, heading towards the mark here. I'm about to go, although slight backer before we cross the line, so we'll be considering what we need to do, but have to have a look and see what the wind's doing. It looks like there's wind this side, so we'll carry on. That's it, across the line. Hope you enjoyed that. That was a lap of Midland Sailing Club in the 300.